Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel and welcome back to another combined 11 for the big game tonight coming up for Newcastle against Arsenal. Two teams in great form, two teams towards the top end of the ladder. Arsenal trying to push on and get that top spot in the Premier League table as they go and try and push for a title race. And then at Newcastle, who started the season poorly but are working their way back up after some good form to be back in that European Champions League spots. Two teams that definitely deserve to be there, two teams that are playing some very good football right now. So as such, this combined 11 was very, very difficult to make, but I enjoyed making it because we love a bit of tough decision. We love some controversial calls, and that's what I think we might see with some of the players in this team. Before we get into the team, guys, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and also sharing the channel with mates, that'd be much appreciated. Got a lot of recent support on the Jude Bellingham video, so if you're a new subscriber, thank you for jumping on board. And for the returning subscribers, much appreciate your guys' continued support. Let's get straight now into Combined 11 team. Starting at the back, maybe a controversial call, but in my eyes, someone who's a really safe, easy call to make is Nick Pope in goal. Not as good this season as he was last season, but someone who's really, really good with their hands. Not, I guess, renowned for his work with his feet like Raya and Ramsdale are for Arsenal, but I think in terms of what a goalkeeper needs to bring, Nick Pope got it. It was a part of the best defence last season and a part of an improving defence so far this season. 4 clean sheets, 27 saves this season. That topples the Arsenal two keepers with 8 saves and 7 saves apiece, but obviously different levels. Newcastle exposed a bit more shots than Arsenal are, but I just trust him. I trust him to make big saves at big times. Big sort of goalkeeper as well that feels the goal. And as obviously a part of that defence last year that was so successful. So throughout the season, especially in the Champions League, some really, really important saves. And as such, I feel like the 4 clean sheets and building means he just has to be a part of this team and a keeper that's really, really a trusty and reliable one, which we don't see much in the Premier League at the current point in time with all these ball-playing keepers. As such, he's in goal for me. We move to right back now. Kieran Trippier. I think it's a bit of a slam dunk decision. The captain of Newcastle United, the sign of their revolution in my eyes, the symbol of it. He came, it also turned around since he came. Someone that is invaluable because of his delivery into the box, his delivery from that flank as well. It seems whenever he's playing well, Newcastle are playing well, and in this recent sort of month or so block where Newcastle have refound some good form, it's been on the back of Kieran Trippier's increases in performances. So far this season, the 6 assists, a part of obviously those 4 clean sheets as well. He's equally as good defensively as he is going forward. A just complete footballer, a wizard with the ball at his feet, a passionate player that gets the crowd involved, as we've seen in the Champions League there as well. But also someone that's very solid at the back and a part of that, I'll keep saying, a part of that back four that's so solid and so robust and doesn't can concede many goals at all. So for me, especially with his captaincy work as well, he just has to be in this team, in this combined 11. The centre-back, I'll talk to him as a partnership in my eyes. I think William Saliba and Gabriel, I see them as a partnership, a pair. Very, very good together. You got the Rolls Royce, I guess, in a way, in Saliba, and Gabriel is a bit more of a tougher centre-back. But don't get me wrong, both these guys are incredible with the balls at their feet. Really, really quick, agile, strong players. There's not really any weaknesses in these guys' game, and we know that Saliba can score some big-time goals as well from corners. Gabriel has a goal in for a corner as well. So I just feel like they had the whole package just covered. Obviously, Saliba with the most Premier League clean sheets at the current point in time with 5. Gabriel has 3 of those. He's been the one that's been rotated in and out of the squad. But I guess importantly for a squad that rotates a fair bit, Mikel Arteta's had faith in Saliba throughout the whole season. He's been a constant in this team. He was, I guess, a credit to some of that Man City result. We just pocketed Haaland as well. But Gabriel's done some great jobs as well this season. I think Gabriel was probably the most impressive centre-back against Man United early in the season, where United were trying to counter-attack them, but it was Gabriel at times making some ridiculous challenges coming back into the fray. So those two have been ridiculous now for 2 seasons straight and have to be in this combined 11 as the pair. And then moving to left-back, it's Zinchenko for me. I was close to putting Dan Burn in, but I think despite not having probably the output and numbers that he's probably used to, Zinchenko, the eye tester thing and the quality he brings and the importance he brings to a team, he just can't go unnoticed. The ability for him to invert, we all talk about the inverted fullbacks these days now, but he does that role. He's the originator of that role, and so important for Mikel Arteta's team to, once they get the ball back, look solid and progress the ball forward in possession. Vital coming into that sort of central region, very quick as well. I think surprisingly quick is what I think the best way to describe him as. But he's not just a one-way player. I know everyone knows him for that attacking output and that sort of midfield inverted role, but he is very solid at the back, a part of the Pep Guardiola side as well, so that can't go unrecognised as well, his ability to play in those sort of systems. So versatile, so important for the build-up play of Arsenal and for City in the past, so he's had to go in this team for me, despite having a sort of poorer start to the season this year. Then comes the midfield, where I think these three as a midfield would be the best in the Premier League in my eyes. And I guess a bit of a holder role. I'm going to go with Declan Rice. He's getting the respect I think he probably deserves in the last few weeks. I think all season he's been remarkable. Played in that deeper role this year. With Thomas Partey not really being involved much and using more creative players in front of him, he had to be that sort of single holder at times. Someone that has to pick the ball up and transition Arsenal forward. Having the inverted fullbacks playing as well, it can congest that space in there, but he's adjusted so well to this new system. I love what he did with West Ham there as a holder and created from deep, and he's starting to show that now at Arsenal as well. And he scores important goals versus United, that belter versus Chelsea as well, so 2 goals this season as well as an assist. And you're just starting to see now that Arsenal are getting a bit more confident this season, playing some better football. He's getting a license to string a little bit further forward, play on the edge of the area, create opportunities, and that's where he's at his best. I still think he'll be one of the best sort of number 8s in the world if he gets the opportunity to play there, because I think with the ball at his feet, he's very, very good spraying passes, getting the game going once he wins the ball back as well. So currently the number 6, but with how good Arsenal are playing, we're getting to see him a bit more further forward, a bit more time on the ball, and we're going to see the full package of Declan Rice, because I think the full package is very, very exciting to see, and I can't wait to see what he can produce with this Arsenal squad. As I said, so far this season, he's been just everywhere, doing everything for Arsenal. It's the small things. It's picking the ball up, playing in the half turn, breaking the play up and getting the ball going forward for Arsenal. And these midfielders at Arsenal, it's a very underrated role because of how much time they spend in possession and how congested it can be with those inverted fullbacks. And a lot of the time it goes to the fullbacks, the recognition, all the centre backs, all those wingers. There's not much going there to the midfielders. So all respect to Declan Rice and his start to the season. I'll pair him up with Bruno Guimaraes in that midfield there. Bruno's been that heartbeat, the one constant at Newcastle United. Now with Tonali having an extended period away, he just shows his importance to this 11. Similar to Declan Rice as well, playing a little bit deeper at times, but someone that just does a bit of everything. We know how good he was last season. He got the recognition he deserved, and he's gotten going the same foot again this season. Only the 1 goal, 1 assist, but with being in the top 5% for midfielders and take-ons, it shows his quality he has with the ball at his feet. He can get Newcastle going forward. And similar to Trippier, whenever Bruno Guimaraes is in good form, you know that Newcastle are playing some good football. He connects the game up so well for Newcastle. He was working so well with Joel Linton last season. Now part of a midfield with Longstaff in there as well. He's adaptable. He can play multiple roles in the midfield position. And I feel like if we put these sort of players I'm putting around him, you probably would see the best in his hypothetical world. So far this season, he's made chances happen. He's a chance creator for me in my eyes, but someone that's not afraid to go in and get a tackle in. I think that is underrated these days. There's a lot of chance creating midfielders or smaller midfielders that shy away from challenges. Bruno doesn't do that. He gets in there, he gets a tackle, and he's passionate as well, and that's what I love about him. He's got all the facets of the game down to a T, and as such, he's in this combined 11 for me. And join them at the number 10 spot. Pretty obvious, Martin Odegaard. I think he's the best captain in the league. Hasn't started this season as he probably would have liked, but still getting those numbers, 3 goals and assists so far. Getting more chance to shoot. It feels like he's had increased license. I know Flynn Tyson, our Arsenal man, on the Away Days podcast we do, has been saying that he had an increased license to shoot the ball. Last season he'd play that extra pass. I know I watch a lot of Arsenal games, but whenever Martin Odegaard's on the ball and involved in the build-up play, it always leads in good things for Arsenal. He's an absolute machine and wizard with the ball at his feet. He finds passes that shouldn't be found. He works very hard both ways as well, similar to Bruno. Does as much of the grunt work defensively as he does with the magical passes as well. He's just got that all-round game. He could play as an 8. He plays beautifully as a 10, but just got all those pieces down to a T. No wonder he was at a Real Madrid side not too long ago because, he's a wizard to watch and has been a part of so many good things that Arsenal have done. So he absolutely lands up in the number 10 in this team. Going up top now on the right, it's Bukayo Saka, 4 goals, 3 assists in his 9 Premier League appearances. Similar thing to Martin Odegaard. He's the number 1 option going forward for Arsenal, cutting in on that left foot, taking to the bar line, crossing the ball in, but also just his passing play as well. Underrated thing about his game, I think, because we all know him as the direct, pacey winger, which is what he is good at and what he's known for. But his passing as well is something that should be appreciated. I think as a Man United man myself, where I have wingers that are not really good with the ball at their feet, passing wise, I just look at Bukayo Saka and think how amazing this guy. He finds the pass when he needs to, clinical finisher in certain areas, and that pace and precision that he has with his shot makes him, for me, the best wing in the league. Up there with like Mo Salah. Like, it's those 2 guys at the moment that are the top 2 and competing up there. These guys are super consistent. They barely have bad games, no matter whether it's a big game like this one or they're playing a Sheffield United or a Luton as well. So that's why he, for me, lands in this team. Always going to be a present in the Premier League, combined 11 sort of teams, because he's so good. And this season, despite having an injury, still high in the goal and assist numbers, as we come to expect now with him. Moving to striker, I've gone with Callum Wilson. 7 goals this season in his 9 appearances, only 4 starts. We saw the double, obviously, last time out versus Wolves. But whenever he has the opportunity to be out there on the field, he seems to capitalise for Newcastle. One of the most clinical finishers in England. Probably should be up there, maybe a backup, a deputy to Kane or next to Watkins in the level of English strikers at the current point in time. Absolute lethal finisher. Someone just is a fox in the box and knows where to be, can put the ball in the back of the net at all points in time, and just a proper number 9, right? He just finds the places that he needs to be. He gets them on the back of the net. He's a great penalty taker. And as far as strikers go in the Premier League, he's not that flashy, the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Haaland, or even Højlund and stuff like that. He's not that sort of name. He's just a name that gets the job done, but does it to a really, really good degree. Someone that can easily slide under the radar, but what a start to this season. Now with Isaac out for a little bit of time, we'll get to see the best of Callum Wilson. And even this game here, he could get back on the score sheet because it seems like he seems to score in most games he plays in. So he's the striker for this team. And to finish it all off from the left, has to be Gabriel Martinelli. Once again, probably not the statistical output we expected this season, only the 1 goal and 2 assists in his 8 appearances, but equally like with Saka, he's had a few injuries, kept him out of a few games. But again, another one of those top 5 wingers in the Premier League, it feels like. Similar to Saka as well, very direct, but very skillful, finds a way past and through players. And when he's in the penalty area, one of the most dangerous in the Premier League. He's in the top 2% for touches in the penalty area. Just shows how he can get into these tight areas and get to these attacking spots. And in the top 4% for progressive passes received. So always there as an option, always there, ready to fire a goal. And again, when Saka's not there, you see, extrapolates the importance that Martinelli has, because you see how often they'll go to him. But when you've got Saka in the team, he sort of gets covered up by the Saka performances or the Gabriel Jesus performances. But when we see just Martinelli playing, we see how good he is. He's super consistent as well. Someone that doesn't have a bad game, works equally well back defensively as well. We saw that Chelsea game, that great chase down challenge on Gusto there as well. He's got a bit of everything. He's got that flair, he's got that pace, he's got that power as well. And similar to Saka, he's so precise. When he gets the opportunity to score, he normally does score and barely misses. And also a player that scores important goals in important games, as seen by that Man City goal as well. So he's got the full package for me. So he lands in at the left wing position and concludes a combined 11 team. Just rattling off one more time for you guys. Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier at right back, Saliba and Gabriel are 2 centre halves, with Zinchenko at left back. It is Declan Rice and Bruno Guimaraes as a 2, with Martin Odegaard there at the number 10, Bukayo Saka from the right, Callum Wilson down the middle, and Gabriel Martinelli playing off the left. An awesome team, a great combined 11 team, a lot of fun to make, a lot of names you can toss up there and think about. So I didn't make it quite easy for myself, which I really, really enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, guys. Do you reckon I got this right? How excited are you for the game? Give us a score prediction for Newcastle, Arsenal. Obviously, the games tonight, absolutely can't wait. One of the biggest of the weekend, so we'll definitely be tuning in for that one. I hope you guys enjoy the weekend's football action. I hope you enjoy the Arsenal and Newcastle game. Make sure to have a great rest of your day, guys. And I'll see you for another video very, very soon. See you later.